In Jamaica, the parliamentary opposition continued its broadside against the government's budget for the 2016-2017 fiscal year when opposition leader Portia Simpson-Miller made her contribution to the budget on Thursday. Most of Mrs. Simpson-Miller's presentation was spent outlining what her administration did to contribute to the sustainable growth of the country, noting that those efforts are more than that being proposed in the current budget. The opposition leader says her administration had to make difficult decisions in order to correct the poor economic conditions they inherited from the former Jamaica Labour Party government in 2011. Taking apart the budget, she began by focusing on the topic of education. Mrs. Simpson-Miller says, while noting that the gains of her administration in education must be continued, she accused that there has been too many clarifications on the proposed policies of the Education Ministry in only a short time since the new administration took office.
This administration is already proving itself to be a government of announcements, which bear no relationship to formal policy and budgetary provisions to support those policies. How else can one explain the several announcements and clarifications made by the Minister of Education since taking office? The Minister announced an end to auxiliary fees, while there are inadequate allocations to schools to fill the gap the removal will create. This is what happens when you develop policies on the fly and without consultation. Then there were the announcements of 2 additional years of high school education, improved school feeding program, and a new early childhood stimulation program. The budget identifies no clear funding for those plans.
The opposition leader says the lack of funding to key areas of the education system risks setting the country back. She's calling for a national consultation on education.
It is time for Jamaica to again have a national consultation on education and arrive at a consensus for the preservation of its gains and the correction of its problems. And I can assure you, if that is done, Prime Minister, the opposition will participate, because it is about Jamaica. Show me a prosperous nation, Norman Manley said, and I show you an educated people. And we need to forge a partnership for education in the real sense.
Additionally, the opposition leader took issue with the $500 million reduction in the budget allocation for the Ministry of National Security. She says the decrease, which affects the police's stores and armory, is a bad idea.
Why would you systematically reduce the budgetary provision to the security forces for essential items such as bulletproof vests and weapons at a time when the murder situation is a cause of great concern? And the murders, we had our fair share of that when we were in government. This does not give confidence to citizens, and it certainly does not give confidence to business operators and potential investors that they will be protected.
And the opposition leader also took issue with the JLP's $1.5 million tax break. She echoed the sentiments expressed earlier this week on the issue by the opposition spokesman on finance, Dr. Peter Phillips, that the plan cannot be implemented without new direct taxes. Mrs. Simpson-Miller lambasted the government for what she claims are promises broken.
PM, he promised, among other things, to raise the minimum wage to $8,600. That is in their manifesto. What is he going to do about them? They need a break. What is worse is that no one will get up to 18,000. Not this year, not next year, not until 2018. Yet everyone had to pay the new taxes starting last week. This is not prosperity. As the people say, this is prosperity.